sir. All right, good evening, everybody. At this time, I will open up the public hearing on the 25-26 draft student cell policy. At this point in time, I will turn it over to Mr. Arquette.
I think at this point, we're just going to open up the floor to any comments that we have from the public. So folks are welcome to come up and make any comments they might have.
Wow.
Sure, the only thing that I got a bunch of questions after the last meeting, just to clarify, as a former father of a student that never went to the kid's locker, what were we going to do with that? I don't think my son, junior, senior year, had touched his locker. So how are we going to, was it time before class we were going to give them? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep. Both the middle school and high school principal knows that the kids are going to need time to reacclimate themselves to lockers, so they'll spend time the first couple of days of school giving kids a chance to practice at their lockers, and then they'll have time before either first period or homeroom, but they have it, to drop their phones off before school starts, stays in there for the school day, picks it up after the last period of the day.
Thank you.
I also got a few questions from parents. Where does the student need to go in high school if they don't know where their locker is? For example, my son, who has no memory at all.
My kid says the same thing. I don't even know where my locker is or what a combination.
So I believe Mr. Bagnerick will communicate that out over the summer. Kids might get their lockers the first day of school when they go to period one. And maybe their period one teachers will assign them or give them their lockers at that time. So that communication will certainly come from both building administrators in August.
Okay, and they need to get locks for themselves?
No, the district provides locks, I believe, Ms. Swartz, is that accurate?
They provide it again if...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question I got, senior privileges require the use of a phone for QR code for when they leave. And how is that going to work in relation to this new policy?
Yeah, it's a great question. That'll be something that Mr. Bednarik's going to have to work out in terms of how they use senior privileges and access those passes.
And a couple of things that people were asking me, just to make it clear, they cannot keep them in their backpacks, right?
Correct.
Okay. And they cannot use them during study hall or lunch?
Correct.
Okay. What about back and forth on the buses to BOCES? Can they get it for that?
We weren't going to restrict them on buses, so I would say my tentative answer would be yes, they can use them on the bus.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
And students who come in late, I know some kids have they come in later during the day, that's when they can go to the locker and drop it off. It just doesn't have to be at a certain time.
Absolutely. Just when they enter the building, we'll trust them to stop at their locker and drop off their phone.
They can grab it when they leave.
Correct.
Anyone else have any questions?
I did, but I just don't want to be on TV. So I don't know how to
That's right. We'll put that blur over your face. So you can figure it out.
Can you do that? I'll keep it.
Keep it out there.
Okay. So, my name is Darren Jones. I recently just started teaching this past year. Sorry. I just started teaching this year, the past year at OCs, and I have 3 children. One just graduated, and I have 2 that are going into sophomore year, 2 girls. And I just want to say, as far as just starting teaching, it was a huge distraction. It was a huge problem in class. I didn't realize the problem that we had with cell phones until I started teaching. And I have, my kids are great, but they're on their phones all the time as well. But I just wanted to say, I was hoping more parents would come out and talk about this, but I can't picture too many teachers out there that are for having cell phones in class. Again, it was just a huge distraction to me. So I just wanted to say that, and that was my concern. A little nervous up here. I don't really do this kind of thing, but when I did hear about the cell phone ban and stuff, I was super supportive of it. Supporting it. So I just wanted to say that. But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Huge distraction. The other thing is, that's one more thing. I'm hoping that comes from the top-down administration, that they're not going to leave it up to any teachers. And it sounds like you're on the right path. I think the administrators are going to tell the teachers, hey, this is what's going to happen, because some of the kids in my class were like, oh, Mr. Such and Such does this, or Mr. Such and Such does that with the cell phone. So it's super annoying. I don't care what other teachers are doing. I kind of set the policy, and it kind of worked. If you do it in the beginning, it is what it is. They'll get used to it. So it's like anything, you get used to it. So, but I appreciate it. Thanks.
Great point. Thank you.
Thanks.
Anyone else have anything?
I think there was a question last time about communication during the day, like when students have on sports, school sports, and things change. Are we gonna talking to the coaches and make sure they communicate, as early as possible? As you know, coaching the basketball games, 4 o'clock, or leaving time, bus time leaving, or 3:30, whatever. Are we gonna make sure somehow? I guess that'd be more Marcy, I guess, to.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, it was a good point brought up at the last meeting. It's important that we use both Parent Square to communicate with parents as soon as possible, if any changes for athletics, that sort of thing. But also the PA system. As soon as a change is made, we've got to hop on the announcements at the end of that period, right? And let kids know that practice hasn't changed or if the game has been canceled, that sort of thing. So Marcy is already aware that she's got to be very timely with any changes. It's going to be hard if they happen at 2 o'clock, right? School's about to end. So she'll be cognizant of that with any adjustments. But I think the combination of Parent Square to get out to parents as soon as possible and using the old school PA system so kids know what's going on, those two things should do the trick.
Thank you.
I had asked the last time we discussed cell phones about devices with parental controls, and you said you would look into it, so I was just curious.
Really hard to police. What we'll see for kids that are looking for an exception, they're going to have to go through their counselor or through administration to get approval. We talked about maybe a pass, right, an exemption pass. Other than that, it's got to be a phone that is not a smartphone. I think it would take way too much time for administrators to try to police whether a phone has got parental restrictions on or not, that they're on, but then have the passcode to change it after. So I would say that that's too difficult to police. It's going to have to be either an exemption with some type of, like a pass for students, or if the phone looks like our old school, not smartphones.
Right, flip. Thank you.
Yep.
Hal, I got one thing.
Yes, sir.
I've talked to like 20 kids, and I asked them what their screen time was during the day, and on average it was like 3.5 hours. So it should happen. It's got to happen.
Absolutely. Agreed. Mr. Arquette has done a great job for a while, 8-9 months. Data and meetings to get it. So I think this is the policy that shows us the responsibility. Because we don't have to worry about the bags and stuff that goes into those that are quite expensive too. So that.
And we did hear back from the company about pouches. Interestingly enough, they're not interested in supplying a pilot. They'll only do school-wide. And so we're going to see if we can finagle something, but they're not interested in supporting a pilot.
Thank you. Anyone else have any comments or feedback on the cell phone? All right, if not, we'll close the public hearing at 6:44 and we'll reconvene at 7 o'clock. Thanks, everyone.